Creators on YouTube have built a following for their informative, delicious, silly, and sometimes bizarre videos. Every minute, hundreds more are added.
Howdy everyone, welcome to Yoga with Adriene.
But these videos also have another type of fan, big tech. Some of the wealthiest companies in the world have swooped in, taking YouTube subtitles to build their artificial intelligence models. Among them, Anthropic, the company behind the chatbot Claude, and NVIDIA and Apple, two of the most valuable companies on the planet. I'm Annie Gilbertson, a reporter for Proof News, and we were the first to prove that this data set of YouTube subtitles was secretly taken to build AI. And we've released our findings in a database you can search. You may have heard AI needs massive amounts of information, entire libraries worth of material. The data helps train the models to mimic the speech and writing of people. So where does all this data come from? Are the companies that are building these AI models transparent about where their training data is coming from?
No, they used to be, I think, but nowadays they are not. So you may have seen the interview of OpenAI's chief technology officer when she was asked, does OpenAI use YouTube videos to train its models?
We used publicly available data and licensed data.
So videos on YouTube?
I'm actually not sure about that.
And she did not answer.
There's a reason people have been asking AI companies if they're using YouTube videos. YouTube videos are incredibly valuable. Think about it. Billions of videos, scripted and unscripted, people using all kinds of slang, dialect, and accents. It's helpful for a model that auto-generates videos or recognizes and interprets speech.
And so if you have spoken word videos with subtitles, that's a gold mine, I would say, for a model like this.
There's also reasons companies don't really want to say what data they're using.
So because they're facing all these copyright challenges, they don't want to admit where the data came from.
It's not just authors and entertainers who are concerned. Much of what we post online is now exposed to AI. If you write an email or post a comment to Instagram or upload a video of your family to social media, potentially a multi-trillion-dollar company is taking it and using it to train their AI models. And it's really hard to know what's even been taken. So how do we find out?
Last year, I came across a huge AI training dataset called The Pile. It was put together by a nonprofit called Eleuther AI. There are lots of random things in it, like copyrighted books, patent applications, philosophical papers, online conversations, and subtitles from 170,000 YouTube videos.
Why did you see this as important?
I think it's hard for us as a society to have a conversation about AI if we don't know how it's being built. And I thought YouTube creators might want to know that their work is being used. It's also relevant for anyone who's posting videos, photos, or writing anywhere on the internet, because right now AI companies are using potentially whatever they can get their hands on.
So how did you figure out whose videos they were?
So the subtitles have been anonymized. I wrote a program that matched the video IDs to the titles and channels on YouTube. And then I made a search tool so that anyone can see what videos are in the dataset. Around 40,000 of the videos are labeled as educational from channels like Khan Academy, Crash Course, and TED. There are also online courses and other videos from universities like MIT and Harvard.
Here at the University of California, Berkeley and the Haas School of Business, promoting the ethical responsibilities of business are deep in our roots.
There's videos about UFOs and the Earth being flat.
That's absolute proof that a plane flies over a flat surface.
Around 17,000 videos are labeled as news and politics from organizations such as the Wall Street Journal, NPR, and the BBC. There's channels from late night, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and Jimmy Kimmel Live.
We already have a rule that you can't be younger than 35 to be president. I think Congress needs to cap that, too, at age 70.
As I've said, companies don't often say what training data they're using. It's difficult to know all of the companies that use YouTube subtitles, but we did track down some in company research papers and posts and found tiny little mentions of the training data used in their models. Our investigation found workers at Apple and Bloomberg use this YouTube dataset. Jennifer Martinez, a spokesperson for Anthropic, confirmed that the company used YouTube data in its Claude AI chatbot. She denied it broke YouTube's rules. Salesforce's VP of Research, Kaiming Zhang, also confirmed use of the pile, stating it was for academic and research purposes. Databricks trained models on these YouTube videos. So did the NVIDIA Corporation, a company that was valued in the trillions of dollars. A representative for NVIDIA declined to comment. Those at Apple, Databricks, and Bloomberg did not respond to requests. We also reached out to Eleuther AI, the nonprofit that published the YouTube subtitles dataset. No one responded.
Whether it's legal, whether it's ethical, those things can be debated for now. Whether it's disrespectful, I don't think that's up for debate.
Dave Wiskus heads a collective of video creators, some of whom had their work taken from YouTube.
It is free to view. It is not free for you to take and download and train your plagiarism robots on.
What's worse, Wiskus says, is that the growing AI industry could change entertainment and production as we know it.
Will this be used to exploit and harm artists? Yes, absolutely. Yes. The studios 100% would use generative AI to replace as many of the artists along the way as they can.
And the YouTube creators in this data set may have unwittingly helped pave the path towards that future.
It might generate something that is stolen from so many different places that it's impossible to trace a single origin, but that doesn't change the fact that it's theft.
Many individual YouTube creators, people who rely on revenue from their channel for their livelihood, were used to train AI. Creators that one day may find themselves competing against AI-generated content. Videos from some of the platform's biggest stars went into training AI. Mr. Beast and Marquez Brownlee's videos were used.
Time to break the seal on literally the oldest piece of tech I have ever held.
So were hundreds of videos obtained from Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie.
Some of the best content ever on YouTube platform.
The official channel for Scientology was also used. So was content from the Vlogbrothers, John and Hank Green. The CEO of their production company said in a statement that they were frustrated that their work was used without consent. We attempted to reach all the channel owners named in our story. Many did not respond to requests for comment. Of those we spoke to, no one knew their work had been taken, and there was no discussion of compensation.
This is my livelihood, and I put time, resources, money, and staff time into creating this content. And it's clear that the reason you would use it as training content would be to then monetize it in some other way.
Companies such as the Associated Press have penned deals to use their work as training data. Pacman says if AI companies are making a buck, he should be paid too.
It's obvious it has value because News Corporation is being paid by ChatGPT for the same sort of data. And the fact that no one came to me and said, even we would like to use this, are you okay with us not paying you because you think it's a good project, or there's value here and you should be compensated? None of that happened, and that definitely seems problematic.
Another channel we found in the data, Professor Dave explains. Is it a lot of work?
It's an unbelievable amount of work. I work, probably 80 hours a week. What they're trying to do, if you're profiting off of work that I've done, that will put me out of work or people like me out of work, then there needs to be a conversation on the table about compensation or some kind of regulation.
YouTube's terms of service prohibits accessing videos by automated means, which is how this dataset was created. Last we checked, you could still scrape subtitles this way. We asked YouTube why its policy was not being enforced, and spokesperson Jack Milan said the company has taken action over the years to prevent abusive and unauthorized scraping. Other creatives have raised alarm about their work being used to train AI. In the past year, several class action lawsuits have been filed, including those by authors Sarah Silverman, John Grisham, George Saunders. They claim companies such as Meta and OpenAI use their books as training data. The authors claim that it's infringing on copyright and intending to profit from their work. In response, tech companies have argued their actions constitute fair use. Much of the litigation remains ongoing. Amy Keller has brought cases on behalf of creatives.
I think that technology companies have run roughshod. I think that we're finally waking up to it. Unfortunately, we're behind the ball, and more needs to be done that actually enables people to hold them accountable.
Once creative work has been fed into the AI models, Keller says there is no going back.
You can't unlearn it. Everything is built on top of each other, right? So yes, the damage is already done.
Creators I spoke to don't like losing control over how their work is used.
Where's Einstein?
Oh, he's here.
Marcia runs the YouTube channel Einstein Parrot, and she didn't want to use her last name for fear of the bird's safety. She too had no idea her videos had been taken to train AI.
At first, I thought it was funny. I thought, who would want to use a parrot's voice?
Look at the squirrel.
He's parroting me, and then AI is parroting the parrot.
But she doesn't want AI to be creating artificial African grays based on her beloved pet's voice.
If I saw a video, someone replicating Einstein, that would feel violating.
And Marcia says it would gut the essence, the heart of what her and Einstein can bring to audiences.
We still have to have that human-to-human connection. Nothing is going to replace the real thing.
You too can search this data. It's at our website, proofnews.org.